Hi, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is Opportunities in Sales Pipeline. So essentially, today's class is going to be about your transactions within Command that you have with buyers, sellers, even tenants and landlords. And then the last half of class, I'll actually walk through the sales pipeline. So from start to finish with your transaction, what is that going to look like within your command? So we're going to cover all of that today. Again, if you're here with me live and you have questions, definitely drop those in the chat for me. I'll try to get them answered for you in real time. If not, just like I shared with you a minute ago, I will stay a few minutes after class and help get those answered. If you are watching this back on a recording, you can always reach out to us at our email, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help you. All right, so let's go ahead and log into Command. The first thing that I want to show you is to make sure, or how to make sure, that you have your DocuSign linked to your command. And the reason this is important is when you are using an opportunity within command, you need a platform that you can actually send documents to your clients to get signatures, right? And at this time, currently, the majority of market centers do use DocuSign for that. And so you'll want to make sure it's connected before you create your opportunity and get started. So just going to show you really quick where to take a peek at that within your command system. You would go to your name at the top right and choose settings. And right here, this is our applications page. This is where like third-party platforms link up to your command. You can see that this is the connected app section right here at the top. And our DocuSign is already listed right here because it is connected. This is where you want to see yours. You will check the status right here and it should show connected. If yours does not say connected, or if instead of saying connected, yours says resend email or has an authorized button, things like that, if it's anything other than what you see right here on my screen saying connected, then it's not connected. So you might have one or two more steps in order to get that DocuSign account linked to your command. If you're seeing something other than connected, you can always reach out to us. Again, support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can try to help walk you through that or get it corrected. We can also link the accounts for you. Um, there's also a video on our YouTube channel as well called DocuSign 101. And so when you go to DocuSign 101, we actually walk you step by step on either how to get, oh, good, Nelson. I'm sorry. I just saw your message. I'm glad you can see the screen now. Let me know if you have any more issues. Okay. And so if that video actually walks you step by step on how to create a KW DocuSign account and get it connected to your command if you need to. So it does show step by step if you need it. Otherwise, definitely reach out to us too. So if I didn't specify it before, it does have to be a KW DocuSign. It cannot be an e-signature DocuSign account. The good way to know that is if the DocuSign account was created outside of Command, then it's more than likely not compatible with Command. Okay, just a good rule of thumb. If you think for any reason that your account may not be compatible or you're running into issues again, just reach out to us. Okay. The short of it is make sure you're connected right here before starting your opportunities. Okay. All right. So now that we've covered that little bit of prep work here, let's go ahead and travel over to our opportunities tab so that we can get some general navigation and kind of get the lay of the land. And then we'll start going in deeper into details. I'll show you how to create that opportunity and what it looks like too. So your opportunities tab is over here on the left. It's two hands shaking. If you're not familiar with the icons just yet, you can always click the red square at the top and it will pop the names out for you. You can click it again to hide them if you need to. So we'll click on opportunities. All right. And so this is our opportunities dashboard. I'm going to zoom in just a little. There we go. All right. If you are on a team, you may see a team tab right here. Maybe you just previously left a team or something like that. You may still see a team tab right here. So this dashboard and everything I'm fixing to show you will be applicable to that team. It will be that team's stats. Okay. If you are a solo agent, you will see just your name right here. And when your name is highlighted at the top, these stats, everything you see here on the dashboard will be relevant to you as a solo agent. Okay. Just to go ahead and cover the other two tabs that are right here at the top, all opportunities is exactly what it says. Pretty self-explanatory. This is literally going to be all of your opportunities, whether you've been on a team or you're currently on a team, whether you have opportunities underneath yourself as a solo agent and or your team, no matter what, all your opportunities will be here listed for your length of time at KW anytime you need to come and reference them. Okay, no matter what phase they're in, no matter if they're just getting started or they're closed, it will be right here. You do have some filter options to come in here and help you find them too, just FYI. And the All Discussions tab that's up here at the tippy top, this is more applicable or only applicable if you're on a team. This is a way to communicate with your team. We're not going to jump into this super deep today, so just know that's where it lives if you need it. Let's go back and view this as a solo agent here. So we're going to click on Scott's name. Angel, those tabs at the top are pretty much set. And the only time I've ever seen them increase is when you may, like, let's say you came off a team and joined another team, or if you're possibly an expansion agent and you are in multiple market centers with multiple teams, then you would have additional tabs at the top for each one of those teams that you're a part of. Okay. But there's not an edit option to add anything else up here. If you're looking for something though in particular, Angel, let me know. I can probably tell you where it lives if it exists within Command. It just wouldn't be a tab on the opportunities. All right, so let's review this dashboard. Okay, so right here, you will notice a green pipeline. This is technically like a sales pipeline for you. It does say that this is for listings, and you'll notice just below that, it's one for buyers, and below that for leases. They're color coded. You'll start to see that throughout our time today in opportunities. Listings are going to be green, buyers are your red, orange color, and leases are going to be purple. Okay. And so what this pipeline shows you are the transactions, otherwise known as opportunities, that you have within your pipeline. And so, oh, Angel, I'm sorry, was referring to the previous page, like adding another tab to show the commission percentage for each deal. Ah, if you're looking for all opportunities, you'll be able to find different information here under filters. That will help you, Angel. So it won't necessarily be a tab across the top on the columns, but you can definitely use those filters. Toggling back. So here for our pipeline, again, your transactions as they move through the pipeline, this is what this is illustrating for you. So there's 5 phases to your pipeline. There's the cultivate phase. That's when you're just getting in contact with that person, with that client. Okay. Starting to cultivate that relationship, have those real estate conversations, see if you can earn their business type situation. Next is the appointment phase. You are scheduling and holding appointments with that particular contact. Your active phase. This is going to be where they have put ink on paper for you, whether they have listed their home with you or now they have signed a buyer's agreement or some type of agreement like for your listing as well. That would be your active phase. You are actively progressing in business with them and you are under contract together as a realtor to that client. Okay. Your next phase is under contract. Now, obviously, self-explanatory. This is going to be where another contract is signed, whether your listing has gone under contract or your buyer has had their offer on a particular property accepted and is now pending. Okay. The only difference you'll see is if I scroll down here to our lease, leases show a pending phase instead of under contract. Okay. Scrolling back up, your last phase is closed. That means you have had a closing on this deal and gotten paid. Okay. So those are your 5 phases. You can't edit or change the 5 phases. Those are set by your command system, but there's definitely some personalization that you can do to your sales pipeline that I'll be showing you as we move along, okay, towards the end of class. Within that pipeline, notice I have little icons here with a number underneath each one. That indicates the number of opportunities you have within that phase. So we currently have 12 transactions under Cultivate. And as we move along through our pipeline, you'll see they get less and less. Hopefully, yours get more and more. And you'll see that we have 3 opportunities under contract and 0 for closed. Just below that, you have the volume for those opportunities within that particular phase. You also have average time. This is the average time your transactions based on your business. That's the average that the opportunity takes within that particular phase. Okay. Now, ours is a demo account. Hopefully, your clients aren't spending 226 days in appointment phase. Okay. And over here to the right, we have our GCI. That's gross commission income. We have 2 options here, potential and probable. What this is showing you is the potential GCI if every single opportunity within this pipeline makes it to closing. This is your potential income that you have in your pipeline right now. Probable income is based on percentages of all of those opportunities. Yes, Angel, that would be a very nice year, especially for a solo agent. I've seen numbers like that for teams, but not for solos. Um, and so basically, the probable income is going to be what the percentage of those opportunities actually making it to closing. Because as we know, not every opportunity that's in the cultivate or appointment phase is actually going to get to closing. So there are some percentages of that are in your system. I'll show you where those are later. But basically, it says, well, the opportunities in the cultivate phase are only likely to make it to closing 5% of the time, 10% of the time, whatever your percentage is set at. Okay. So that projects your probable income for you. This is what more than likely will happen out of all of the opportunities that are in your pipeline. Okay. And as Angel said, that's still probably a really good year, right? Okay. And so Etta is asking, do we have to enter the info manually when we get the appointment and upload the BBA? Please show how to do it. Absolutely, Etta. That's exactly what we are going to cover today's class. So by the end of class, I'm going to have walked you through your sales pipeline and show you every step of the way as far as when you get to that cultivate phase with a client or a contact all the way to closing, including submitting your documents to your market center for compliance and things like that. Okay. All right. So that's our pipeline. Those are our GCI estimates at the end. And you can see that as I scroll down, you can see that for listings, your buyer pipeline, and your leases pipeline. Okay. Towards the bottom of the page, just some different visuals for you. If you like graphs, this should really make you happy. It will show you your ratios. How heavy is your business in listings versus buyers versus leases? So this shows you and also has another GCI breakdown showing your probable and potential GCI based on that particular pipeline of your business. Okay, your activity, showing you when you start to kick up in opportunities. And just as a typical agent, it looks like the higher season right here is going to be when summer starts to kick off, right? Business starts to peak. You do have some options when you're looking at your opportunities dashboard like this. Pay attention up here in the top right-hand corners. Whenever you see those arrows that point down, you can click that and there's a hidden drop down right there for you so that you can actually look at a different view of that visual or graph. So in this case, we could do tenant or buyer, and it will show you based on that information. At the very, very bottom, if you have a closing scheduled for this month, you would see those opportunities listed right down here at the bottom. Okay? So if you don't see anything, don't worry. You just don't have a closing for this month. Wait, maybe you should worry. You want to have a closing this month. All right. That's your overview, guys. That's your overview of your opportunity dashboard. Okay. And so now I actually want to show you by clicking into this sales pipeline, another layer of this. Okay. And so right here, if I click into that cultivate phase, this is just another view of your pipeline. Okay. Notice our phases, they're still right here, all five of them. But now we have these little cards down here. These are our opportunities. Each one, you'll notice a client name. If you have an address linked to it, if you've already got some details about the commission or sales price, you'll see that information. We're going to go over these in a little bit more detail as we move through class, but I just want to show you that you can click on your dashboard into your sales pipeline and actually see a graphic version of your opportunities within your sales pipeline. Okay. There is two different views. There are two different views, pardon my English. We are currently on the board view. So it looks like this, like they're little cards that you can kind of move around. You do have a list view if you prefer it, and it would look like this. Okay. And scroll down and look through them. I'm going to go through board view. I feel like it's a little easier to explain to you visually. So I'm going to click back on board view for our class today, but you do what is best for your business and what you prefer. Within board view, again, pointing out our phases up here, right? Below that, you'll notice you have stages. You have stages within every phase. Within the cultivate phase, we have three stages. Watch, like you're keeping your eye on that particular contact. Nurture stage. This would be where you're starting to actually reach out and trying to make contact with them, having some conversations, maybe doing a little marketing to them. And then hot. The hot stage would mean you've made contact and they have indicated to you that they are ready to do business, let's say within the next 3 to 6 months. Okay. Whatever your definition of hot would be. And so, as you have an opportunity, you can move them through the phases as your relationship with this particular contact progresses. So you saw me do that. I'm just going to pick up my little opportunity card and move him over from watch to nurture. Let's say I've nurtured him for a little while. Now he's hot. We're going to just move him over. Okay. You can even take them. Let's say it turns out that one of your guys here in Cultivate has decided at the drop of a hat to schedule an appointment with you. And so you can take your little opportunity and hold it over that particular phase and drop him there as well. And now he would be under our appointment phase. And as you click on each phase, you'll see your different opportunities under each one. Okay. All right. So we will come back in here in a little while towards the end of class as time allows, and I will show you how to actually personalize this even more. We kind of have a secondary opportunities class. It's called opportunities checklists, opportunity marketing and checklists that really deep dive into how to personalize your sales pipelines and things like that. But I do try to get to a little bit of it at the end of class as time allows, okay? So we might travel back in here. I'm going to click back on our opportunities tab over here on the left just to get back to our dashboard now, just to give you an orientation of where you're at, okay? So now that we've pretty much seen an overview of your sales pipeline and of your dashboard, let's go ahead and create an opportunity so that you can see that process. Okay. So right here at the top, you'll notice a Create Opportunity Action button. Go ahead and click that. And this is how you create an opportunity. Top left, if you are part of multiple market centers, definitely make sure you are choosing the one that's applicable to you. So we'll go ahead and choose our market center. If you are on a team, you may see the option to choose your team or not choose your team. That depends on your rainmaker. Opportunity type, choose which one is pertinent to this deal. We'll go ahead and choose listing today. The listing opportunities have a couple of features that the buyer's opportunity, well, it's just different. And so I'm going to show you those differences today. So just for our demonstration, we'll stick with listing. And owner is always you over here on the right if you're a solo agent. If you're a team member, again, this is more than likely going to be your rainmaker instead of you. As we come down a little bit, you have a client field. When you put your cursor there, do not be alarmed when it says no options. You just need to begin typing your contact's name. If that contact is in your command contacts already, you should see a drop down populate like this where you can choose that particular person. If they're not in your command contacts yet, no problem. You can just click add new contact right here. Okay. And it will create that person for you. We'll go ahead and choose our main guy here today. If there is a co-seller, you would enter that information here. The opportunity name. This is an internal name only. Your client doesn't see this. It does auto-populate for you, but you can always change this. Put your cursor there and change it to something different. Okay. Custom tags. If you're familiar at all with our command contacts, you'll know that there are tags there also. This is just a way to label or to organize. The custom tags here for your opportunity are completely separate from your command contacts tags. It's just the same concept, though. It's any way that you want to organize them. Let's think about if you have a niche in your market. Maybe you really specialize in military relocation or relocation in general. Maybe you do investments, foreclosures, seniors, whatever it is. Maybe that would make a great tag for you so that if you ever want to come in underneath that all opportunities tab I showed you earlier, and you want to find out how much of your business this year was out of that niche or that particular topic group, whatever, right? So then make a tag for it. Be a great thing to do just to help you keep up with your business. I'm going to type in a tag name here. We do not currently have a tag with that name, so you do have the option to just create that tag right here on the fly, and we'll do that. And you can add as many as you would like. And up. Okay, those are not required. It's just an extra feature for you if you want to keep track of your business that way. Next, these fields down at the bottom, two of them have a red asterisk, three of them, excuse me, can't count today. So three of them have a red asterisk. Those are required for you to fill in. The others do not, and you may not know this information when you're creating your opportunity, so it's 100% okay. Like you're probably not going to know your closing date yet. You might know an estimated listing price and you might know a time frame. If you have any of that information, you can go ahead and fill that in. For the commission rate, we'll just stick a number in there. And then opportunity phase and stage. Remember what we were looking at in our pipeline? It automatically defaults, assuming that you're starting fresh with this person. So it puts it in the very first phase of cultivate, and it puts it in the very first stage of that phase, which is watch. But you can always choose to review this and pick a different phase and stage. Okay, we'll go ahead and create our opportunity now. And this on your screen is what it looks like when you're actually in an opportunity. Okay, when you have the opportunity open, this is what your screen looks like. We're going to review in general everything you're seeing on your screen here. And then we're going to start that process of walking through the sales pipeline together, of what it actually looks like from start to finish when you have a deal. Okay. So, in general, on your screen on the left-hand side, you'll have a hyperlink right here to your sales pipeline. You can always jump back over there to see your pipeline where you had all your opportunity cards, right? To see all your opportunities if you want that are within that particular phase. You have the name of your opportunity right here. You also have your contact's name. Notice that when I'm hovering over this, it is a hyperlink. If I were to click that, it would take me over to my command contact profile that usually lives right over here underneath your contacts tab. So you do have a little shortcut right there if you ever need it. To the right of that, this is one of those two features I mentioned to you that a listing opportunity has that a buyer opportunity does not. You can link your listing to your opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So I'm just going to click select from listings. Notice it says, sorry, no listings match your search. Do not panic. It does help if you have synced your MLS to your command. And if you have, your listings would populate right here. Okay. You also have a little magic button right here if you do want to go ahead and sync your listings to your command so that they will automatically populate for you. I'm not going to cover that in detail. If you have any questions on how to do that, you can always reach out to us. I want to show you how to find your listings even when they don't automatically populate, okay? So right here to the top left, you can search by street name or MLS number. MLS number is usually going to be more efficient for you because this does pull from like all the MLSs. So street address can get duplicated a lot throughout neighborhoods and states. So you choose which is best for you. Over here on the right, notice that I have a status option. You can particularly look for a listing in one of those statuses. I'm going to go ahead to make it easy on myself today and choose for sale. And then show only my listings. You can change this. For your search, I recommend doing all listings. That way, it will literally pull up all listings for sale when you go to enter your MLS number or your address. Okay. I'm going to look for all the listings underneath this particular market center today. Okay. Just to help out. And so now we're looking at all the listings for this particular market center that this opportunity is under. Let's say you put in your MLS ID, you put in your address, and you click search KWLS, and it populates the results here for you. You would just scroll until you see the right property for you, and you can make sure it's in the right status, that you are the listing agent. And when you know for sure that that is your guy, that's the one that you want, you can simply click select. Now our property is linked to our listing. Notice that right here, we are on the details tab within the opportunity. When I linked that property, all of my property details right here just got filled in automatically. So it saves you a few steps. Okay. All right. So we covered up here on the top left. Let's go ahead over here to the top right and just give you a brief overview of what these options are. Client updates are toggled off. That is a default. What a client update is your clients can receive, if you have them turned on, can receive a daily email giving them an update of what tasks were completed on their opportunity. It's a really nice professional email. It shows your to-do list, only the things that have been marked off and completed. And it's a great way just to help communicate between you and your client without you having to constantly text or call and give them an update. It's just a little bit of time leverage for you as an agent. We have a tip video on how to get these manually turned on, or excuse me, yeah, manually turned on for your opportunities. There are a few steps, so we're not going to jump in since we're doing an overview class today, but just know that that is totally an option. To the right, talking about that to-do list, right? This is that. These are those tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to show you the tasks for this particular opportunity that are listed here. These are tasks created within your command that will also show on your tasks tab. I don't know if you can see it grayed out in the background, but you have a task tab right here within command, your third icon down. All your to-do lists live right there. Okay. These tasks will also appear there and on your command mobile app for you. When I click on this tasks list, notice that I have my 5 phases right here, and I can view the tasks that are set up for every single phase, like our cultivate phase, the watch stage. I see all the different things that there is to do. You can come in here and mark them as complete once they're done. You can also come in and add a new task. Maybe you remembered something that needs to be done, or in a lot of cases, maybe this is a client that needs a little extra hand holding, a little extra explanation. We like to say a little extra grace applied. Maybe they need a little bit more. If so, you can come right in here and create a task for them. Type in whatever the task is. You can choose a different phase and stage. Maybe the one that you're thinking about that you want to add for this particular person will be once it's in the closed phase and the closed stage, and it's a phone call that you want to make to them. Let's say you want to touch base after the transaction closes. Add your description here if you need to. If you have a hyperlink that you want to include in your task just to help you remind or remember what you're doing, or maybe if this were a different type of task, like you needed some market stats to quickly reference in your phone call to them or something, you can add that hyperlink here just for your reference. Priority level, you set that. And due date type. There's a few, and this is actually one of the newest updates we just got this last week. I want to show you this. You can set a due date type. A calendar date means you just pick a random date on the calendar that you want. You set the date, right? You can also choose no due date, which means the task is created, there's no deadline, you get to it when you get to it. There's smart due dates now. These smart due dates are pretty cool. What this means is a smart due date are going to be dates that you have on this opportunity. Think about home inspection date, loan approval, closing date, final inspection, due diligence is over. Okay. Think about all the important dates for a transaction. Those are considered your smart due dates. So you can actually choose to have this task generate on the actual date. So I can say, I'm going to choose, I want this to be on the actual smart date, and I'll choose that particular date right here from a drop down. So if I want it to actually populate right when our appointment is scheduled, maybe as soon as our agreement is won, you can see all the different options here, maybe on the home inspection date, whatever it is that you want to choose, you can do that. Going back up to due date type, the other smart due date option is before after. Before after smart due date allows me to set a certain window. Since I'm doing a follow-up phone call to this client, that's the task I wanted to create. Maybe I want this to be exactly 30 days from closing. So I could choose like 1 month after and choose the closing date. Let me scroll down a little bit. Close date. That means that this task will auto-populate within my task tab and on my Command Mobile app exactly 1 month after closing, whenever that smart date is that you have set. Okay? It's pretty handy, guys. That was a great new feature. I'm so glad they brought that in. You do have an option down here at the bottom to repeat. If you had a task that you wanted to repeat every so often, whether it be once a month, once a week, every third Thursday, whatever it is that you want to do, you can make it a repeating task. It's grayed out right now for me because I'm creating a task for a phase that this opportunity is not in. Remember, he's in the cultivate phase, and I made our task for the closed phase. So it's just grayed out. And it lets you know that right down here at the bottom. Repeating tasks can only be created in the current opportunity phase and stage. Okay, so if I had made it for the cultivate phase, I would be able to set up a repeating task, which means that every time the task is generated and I mark it complete, a new one would populate for the next time. Okay, so I don't have to come in here and recreate it every single time I need it done. That's how you would create a task for your opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and click create, and it would populate here. If you have any questions about the tasks list, just let me know. I'm going to hit done. That lives up here at the top of your opportunity. We may not get to it today. We cover it in the opportunities marketing and checklist class, but there is a way to set up a default task list for your opportunities for every single phase and stage. It's genius. So once you get it all set up, every opportunity you create after that would have those tasks automatically created. It brings some serious consistency to your service and your quality that you are offering your clients and takes a load off of you, the realtor, wondering if you have or have not done anything with your particular opportunities. So definitely check out that class. We even give you free templates that you can use so that if you don't know yet what task you would even do in a different phase, we give you examples that you can go ahead and implement in your business already. Gives you a starting point. Okay. Next, client updates. This refers back to this. Just remember, those are those daily emails that your client can receive as soon as you start marking things off of your tasks list. There is personalization with that. They would only see updates on tasks that you want them to see. So definitely check out our tip video on that. Cogwheel, we're not going to cover right now. Just know that you have some settings that live right there. Okay. And so Angel, is it possible to create multiple opportunities from an import Excel file instead of doing it one at a time? That's a fabulous question, but opportunities do need to be created individually since they are all going to have individual contacts and properties. Yep, but your checklists don't have to be created individually. Like I was saying, there is a way to manually update them for all of your opportunities so they all have the same checklist and you don't have to go one by one. Let's go over the tabs right here, guys. First, details. Right here, pretty self-explanatory. You have your key information. You have your property information. Notice the little pencils that highlight when you cover over them. That's how you would edit those fields. And here are those key dates. Remember the smart due date? These are your key dates. This is where you would enter those and where that would pull from when you are setting up your tasks. Okay. Just scroll on down. Just again, general detail information here if you need it. Gonna come back on up. Next is marketing. This is that second thing a listing opportunity has that a buyer opportunity does not have. Listings have a marketing tab. Within this, it gives you shortcuts to create a design, create a paid ad campaign, and also social pieces that you see here. Different designs. Sometimes it's an email design, sometimes it's a print design. But the benefit of having this marketing tab within the opportunity itself, anytime I go and click on one of these, steps are saved. You don't have to come back out to your design tab and go back into a certain type, it immediately takes you into that design or paid ad, already plugs in your listing information that we just linked to our opportunity. So everything helps, it gets branded a little bit faster for you and saves you steps. Also, for the life of the opportunity, if you've come in here and edited any of these pieces to be for this particular listing, it stays right here in this tab and moves along with you. Little hint, every time you move your opportunity to a new phase, these suggestions actually change and update to help you out to know your next marketing piece to create. So it gives you some ideas. Documents. We're going to live here for the next rest of the class, essentially. This has a lot to do with where do you go get your forms? After you get them signed, how do you get them turned into your market center for compliance, like for listings, for going under contract, and for closed? What do you do if you have a buyer and their offer on a particular house, it was under contract, but now it's not and it fell through and they want to make an offer on a new property? Do you have to create a new opportunity? We're fixing to cover all of that in two shakes. Let's just finish our tabs here for your general navigation. So we'll come back to our little documents. Offers and commissions. We're going to cover this as well. This is when you get an offer on your property or your buyer makes an offer. Okay. You can submit them here. And once you have created the offer, you would either approve or reject the offer. And once you, well, I say approve, accept, excuse me. So when you accept the offer, then you would have your commissions request form right here under this tab as well in order to submit that to your market center. Okay. And then over here to the right is our notes tab. You can add notes here within your opportunity. You are the only one that see this. Your client would not. Okay. Um, Also, if you're on a team, your teammates would see this if they are assigned to this opportunity. Okay, just a little place to keep some notes. Timeline, pretty self-explanatory, but shows the life of this opportunity. Okay, you have some filter options on the left where you can come through and view, okay, so what day and time did I update XYZ? Well, it would be right here. Okay, and that's it for our tabs across the top. We will go back now. Oh, we got somebody coming in the waiting room. There we go. All right. And now that we have covered this general overview, we're going to jump into our sales pipeline now. So I'm actually going to back all the way out and let's come back out to our opportunities tab here just for, again, orientation. I want you to know where you're starting. And so let's say you had created your opportunity and now that opportunity is moving through your sales pipeline. So we showed how to create the opportunity. Now, when you come to your opportunities dashboard here, you have your sales pipelines. Today, we're going to deal with our cultivate, or excuse me, with our listing. And so I would go and grab that opportunity. The way I can do that is to click into that phase again. Here we have our phase. And you can look for your opportunity. You do have a search option up here at the top. Or if you happen to know what phase and stage they're in, you can just look for him. And hopefully I'm going to remember the address that we started our little guy on. Hold on. Do, 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 do. I think this is our little guy here. Okay, awesome. So we found our little opportunity here. When you're looking at your opportunity here, while we do have options to move and do, you also can just simply click on the name of that opportunity and it will open it for you. Okay, so I'll just click on him here and it opens. Okay, I'm going to go back just to show you again from the opportunity. So we're in our listings phase. We have our opportunity. He's moved from watch now. We began nurturing him, and it turns out he was hotter than we expected. He's ready to make an appointment. So you would just take it and move it to your appointment phase. Okay. So we'll jump over to appointment and find him here. And then once you've done your appointment, Let's say you're making notes on your opportunity, but now it's actually time to put pen and paper and get documents involved and to actually start your transaction. At that point, you would take your opportunity, drop him over into that active phase, and now we have some documents to take care of, right? So we can come into our active phase, grab our little guy. This time I'm going to click on the opportunity name to get him open. And let's go to that Documents tab. Now remember, details though, if you do have some new details to update, like appointment scheduled, appointment date, appointment one, things like that, go ahead and keep your key dates updated right here. But for documents, we'll come to our Documents tab. Okay. When you come to your Documents tab, over here on the left-hand side, it should say pick a checklist. Now, this is going to look a little different for every single person because the Market Center actually controls this list over here on the left. So it's going to look different depending on what office you're in. But essentially, you would click this to pick your checklist. We're on a listing opportunity. And so some of the checklist items that you may see here, or checklist options, I should say, may be commercial, residential, land, recreational, I've seen, agricultural, I have seen. It just depends on your market center. This particular market center that we're working under as a demo today only has one checklist for compliance, and they've labeled it residential, so it's automatically selected for us. But when you come to your Documents tab, if you do not see documents listed here already, don't worry, just come right over here and make sure you have the proper compliance checklist selected for you, okay, for this opportunity. Once you select that checklist, notice that we have three basic folders underneath it. One, when we've listed this property, going under contract, and closed. Notice that the forms changed on the right-hand side. These are the forms that you need to turn in for compliance. We'll go back to listed here and then travel to the middle of our page and scroll down just a hair. I just want to show you, this will show you the name of the document that you need, if it's required, if it's optional, and then the third option is conditional. Okay, so this lets you know if you absolutely have to have it, maybe sometimes on occasion, or if it's completely optional. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. And so the other columns will show you the status. Obviously, these say not uploaded because we haven't uploaded any documents yet. And then on the far right, you'll notice that we have a place where we can upload our documents. Remember when I pointed out that you can link your DocuSign to your command? This is why it's important. Once you get to this point in your sales pipeline or your opportunity, and you need to get forms, and then you need to get them signed, you would come here to your Documents tab, choose your compliance checklist, and you would start your transaction. If you work out of DocuSign or Dotloop, maybe both, then you may have a little arrow right here to select which one you want to use. If you only have one or the other connected to your command, you most likely will only see that other option. But you would go ahead and click Start a Transaction. And when you do, this is what creates your DocuSign room in your DocuSign account. A DocuSign room is just a location for all of those documents to live. This is where you would go and get your forms. It's where you would edit them and fill out the information. And it's where you would create digital envelopes to send those forms to your contacts to get their signatures. Okay. We're not going to go all the way into DocuSign today. That is for our DocuSign 101 class. We show you everything as far as a big overview of DocuSign and what it looks like to get in there, get your forms, edit them, and send them off for signature. So just know this is what it should look like. It should open a new tab in your browser for DocuSign. It may ask you to log in to DocuSign. Um, and if it does, go ahead and log in. It just may have been a while since you've logged in. And then it would create that DocuSign room for you to operate in and get all your forms. Once you've done this portion, once you've gotten your forms, edited them, and sent them for signature, and you've gotten them back, then it's time to submit them to your Market Center. So we'll come over here to our opportunities again, still under our Documents tab. Notice now instead of start a transaction, it says go to transaction. Now I can begin adding these documents right here. So there's a couple of ways to add the documents. Right here for DocuSign, you can make sure it says DocuSign, and when you put your cursor in the box, you can begin typing the name of a form you were using in DocuSign, and it will pull it over automatically without you having to download from DocuSign, upload into Opportunities. It will pull it over for you because they are linked together. Another option is to actually add from your device. So you can click My Computer, and notice you can drop and drag a file if you want or browse. I'll just go ahead and choose a document we have here on our device. So you can drop and drag it over to your opportunity. It gives it just a second. There it goes. So you'll get a green banner showing it's added. And you can click on it to preview it. And you also have some options to either remove it or print it. Once you've added all of your documents here, you would click Submit to MC. They will review it. Whether they reject it, make a note, or approve it, you would get a notification within your command up here at your notification bell, okay? Letting you know that you have feedback so that you can come and check it and either make a change, resubmit if you need to, or if you're good to go to move forward. Those steps right there with adding your documents here and submitting to your Market Center, you would do for each folder when you list, when you go under contract, and when you close. Okay. Once you're under contract and you get an offer on this particular listing or your buyer makes a listing, that's when you would start using your offers and commissions tab. So we'll click on our offers and commissions tab and just show you what it looks like once you get an offer and create it here. You can add new offer. These fields will populate with the information that you have already created. I see questions coming in. I'm trying to race before the end of class so I don't keep y'all late. So keep those questions coming and I'll definitely get to them after class. But right now for the new offer, you can name it. It should already pull in that information, but maybe you're working with a buyer and you did not link the property to the opportunity because you don't own a buyer, right? You have that select from KWLS option again. It's that same screen we saw before, okay? So just remember to come in here, look for your property, and select it, whichever one is the correct one to choose, okay? I'm going to click away from it because it automatically populated right here for us. You just choose the property type. It's a resale. There's one unit, one sales unit. Seller information should pull from your opportunity already. Buyer information, you would just enter that here. You can even add a co-buyer if you need to. And then you enter your terms and dates, sales price. How much is cash? And it will automatically populate the finance amount for you. Your earnest money percentage here you can enter, or you can enter the actual dollar amount if you want to. Contract date and your closing date, proposed, obviously, because that's subject to change, right? And then enter any comments that you have that you want to make on this particular offer. You do see this offer. Your client does not unless you want to show it to them. So you can enter comments if you would like. You can create the offer or go ahead and automatically create and accept if you want. Since this is our one offer on this, I'm going to go ahead and create and accept. It's been created and now it will update. And now notice we're still under our offers and commissions tab, but now it's the commissions overview. If I ever need to go back and swap over, I can click on offers and commissions view right here and it will show me my offer. But then I can always manage commission to view my commission request. On this commission request, you would go through and enter the information that you need. Notice it'll give you a summary on the right to show the breakdown, but you can come in here and add a co-broker. You can add an outside referral. You can add the agent, and you would simply enter the information that you need to. Okay, and it helps you, letting you know how much is left to distribute. You can even put in here bold scholarship, KW cares. You can add an inside referral or add a deduction if you would like. And when you're done, just click save. Once you're done filling out your commissions request, I probably have an error on it because I didn't do it all the way. Okay, we're not going to fill in an agent name, so I'm going to X out of that. But once you're done filling out your commission request and your right side balances, you can submit it to your market center for approval so you get paid. Okay. Then, obviously, once you have your closing, you'd come back to your documents tab, go to your closed folder, make sure you have all of your documents um, updated. And what I'm doing, guys, there, I just clicked on the requirement, the header in that column, and it resorts it for me. So if you need your documents to be in alphabetical, or you want to just have all your required documents at the top, you can sort these columns, okay? So that's what I was doing real quick. So over here, you would just make sure your forms are all added and submit to MC for compliance. Last 30 seconds here, guys. I'm just going to show you again that situation where the deal falls through. Let's say it's your listing and it was under contract, but it fell through. Or it's a buyer, deal fell through, and now they're going to offer on another property. You do not need to make another opportunity. Okay. The only time you would make multiple opportunities for the same client is if it's literally like they bought from you last year and now they're going to sell with you this year. Well, one's a buy, one's a list. So, yes, two different opportunities, if that makes sense. And if you have a buyer that's buying multiple properties, then yes, multiple opportunities. But if it is the same buyer, the same single purchase, or if it's a seller with that same one listing property, you can stick with the same opportunity until you get to closing. Okay. And so the way you do that is hidden right here. Let's go to under contract folder. If I were to click right here, I can add a version. That means that I can add a brand new version, like under contract version 2 or take 2, whichever you want to name it. Maybe you put a portion of the property name or the buyer name there just to say it's the next time around. Click new version. And then all this is new right here. I would need to upload all of my documents again and submit to MC again. But I would have a brand new version right here underneath documents, okay? And that's how you'd handle it. And that is the end of our class today, guys. Thank you for watching with me again. If you're here with me live, definitely stick around and we'll try to get these questions answered in the chat. And if you're watching this back on recording, you can definitely reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.